Hello and welcome to another episode of Ewell Acres. Today we're going to continue on with our beekeeping discussion. We're going to be talking about 4 more tools that are not necessary for you to do beekeeping, but will help you to be more successful. Let's get started. Where we take a list of items that are nice to have and not necessarily necessary to keep it. When you're looking at tools, there are some that are bare bones necessary to keep you going, and there's others that just make your life simpler. The first item on this list that I have is having salt for bees. Now, when you're looking at it, typically when we're looking at beekeeping, you've got 2 items. You've got nectar that they go out and forage for, and you've got pollen. Those are by far the 2 biggest resources that we constantly think about when we think about bees collecting resources and what they need to survive. What we tend to forget is that there's 2 other things that they will commonly collect. One is water. They are going to need water to help them keep going. They need to stay hydrated. The other thing that is not as commonly thought of is bees also need micronutrients and minerals just like every other creature to help them get going. Now, quite often, bees will collect those from water. In other sources, though, they still need salts to help keep them going. Now, if you've ever had a neighbor with a swimming pool and you see bees constantly going to that swimming pool and getting the highly salinated water versus getting some water that's locally provided, it's because they're searching for water with those minerals in it. Has a higher mineral content, and so they're interested. Now, you don't necessarily want your bees going to your neighbor's backyard, into their swimming pool, and collecting that water. Having bees go and land on your neighbor's kids tends to get your neighbors a little bit excited and not wanting to have those bees around. And so what I personally do to help mitigate that is I actually have salt blocks. What I've done is I've gone down to my local farm and ranch store. You can go to PetSmart, your big box stores, other locations. They have salt blocks available. They have small little circle ones that are meant for rodents. They have medium-sized ones meant for larger animals. They even have large 50-pound ones meant for cattle. There's a huge range of mineral blocks that you can get. What I've done is I went down to my local ranch and hardware store and I got small little 4-pound mineral blocks. And I set it in a central location that is going to be available for the bees, but not going to be constantly knocked over. For me, what I did is I took a cinder block, I set it out in the middle of the field, or you can easily set that mineral block on top of the hive itself, somewhere where the bees will be able to find it, and it's accessible that they'll be able to harvest those minerals that they'll need. Is it necessary? No, but it's something to consider to get, especially because it's really cheap and would make them a little bit healthier in the long run. This next item on this list that I have is gearing a little bit more towards the necessary to have. It's kind of borderline between what I would consider necessary and not necessary. In all honesty, is it absolutely necessary for you to be successful? No. But it's that borderline where it's going to make your life a whole lot easier, and that is having some sort of a container to organize all your tools. When you're getting in the hive, when you're trying to work with things, you may not necessarily want to be fumbling around trying to find your hive tool, trying to find your smoker. By having some sort of a container or an apron to organize your tools, you'll be able to get in and out of the hive as quick as possible without aggravating the bees. This could be something as simple as a 5-gallon bucket. It could be a fishing tackle box. It could be a $10 tool cheapo box that you get from your local big box store. Whatever it is, it's simply a way to organize the tools that you use on a regular basis. It also acts as a good storage device, so when you go to put your tools away once you're done with them, they're all in that same location. Whatever you choose, I would recommend having some sort of a container to keep all of your beekeeping tools that you use on a regular basis in one location so they're easily accessible. The third item on this list that we've got as a part of it is one of those items that is a little bit more on the nice to have, but definitely makes your life a whole lot easier, and that's what's called a trap out board. When you're going to go harvest your honey, typically you have your inner cover and there's your other areas. When you go to harvest it, there's going to be bees all over those frames, and sometimes it can be a little bit hard to get them off, and it's a little bit more difficult to acquire that frame because when you get it, set it aside, bees are going to want to follow that honey to still harvest it, to be still on it. What you can do is what's called a trap out door. It's similar to an inner cover. However, it's going to have some sort of a device on it to encourage the bees to go down into the hive, but not allow them to go up. Most commonly, there's two different devices. There's one that you can stick as a plug in it that's a small little plastic device, or more commonly, it's going to be some wire with a triangular device. For some reason, bees have difficulty with triangles. I don't know why, but they do. And by having that sort of apparatus device, when the bees go down into the hive, they will have difficulty going back up. So, when you're getting ready to harvest, what you can do is 24 hours before you're going to harvest, go ahead and open up the frames and place the trap out door cover in between the supers, the brood chambers, and your honey supers. Over a period of 24 hours, the bees will gradually migrate downward rather than upward. Now, is it going to take care of all the bees? No. But it will help to significantly reduce the bees, having them go down and not up. So it's going to be easier for you to get in, harvest the honey, pull the honey frames out, and get out. So you're not having to get as much of that. Those are just some of the items on this list that I consider to be necessary. What's your thoughts? Did I miss some items? Are there some items on here that are like, why did you even add it to that list? Or are there some items you can say, you know what? Maybe you missed this item I'd recommend. It's nice to have, but not necessary. Let us know in the comments below what your thoughts are on that. Now, as always, there's one item that I add to these lists all the time that I think are not only necessary to have, but also nice to have. And I add it to every single list I do just because of the sheer importance that I believe in it. Education, education, education. Learn as much as you can. Rent books from the library. Get on the internet. Find information. Watch videos like this one here. Learn as much as possible for you to be a successful beekeeper in whatever aspect of beekeeping that you think you are a little deficient on. Get the most important first, and as you learn more, go ahead and search out those more obscure topics. If it's been a while since you observed a different topic, re-examine those things. There's constantly new information coming out within the beekeeping world. There are constantly new techniques, better ways of doing things. Even just as a refresher course to help you, oh yeah, I forgot that particular item. That will help to encourage it. Learn as much as possible. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. We're really glad you're here. Don't forget to comment in the section below so we can learn together as a community. If you like what you're doing, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell for future notifications. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next time.